Alright, what is going on, guys? I want to do a little experiment here. If you don't know, the 7.3s and the 6.0s, I don't believe the 6.4s, but I know for a fact the 7.3s and 6.0s, they have a system called the Huey system. What that is, and just, short term here, just basic info, is that your oil pretty much fires your injectors. There's a high pressure oil pump, and that's pretty much what affects your injector. So if you don't change your oil regularly enough, you don't run the, if you have dirty oil, you could definitely something you could have a problem with, and that could be part of the reason why your truck is not running right. That's why a lot of people run oil additives in these to help keep their injectors clean. They get stiction. But a lot of people, when they change their oil, right over here is the Hpop, the high pressure oil pump, the reservoir. A lot of people change out the fluid in here because apparently it gets stuck in there and it gets like dirty and everything else. That's the oil that's used for the injectors. Now I recently changed my oil about almost 1,000 miles ago. I probably got like 900 miles. And I figured I'd do a little test. I was like, you know what? Let's see if it actually circulates. So I'm going to take out the dipstick here. I got a little oil pan, which is the dipstick, and obviously the Hpop, which is the reservoir there. I'm going to see if they are the same color. Now my oil is actually very clean. I've seen people change their oils in their 7.3 and it's black after like 30 miles. Mine actually still is a pretty nice color after almost 1,000 miles. So don't know if that's something strange. Usually they get dirty quick, but I'm not complaining. So let's take off the little plastic container there, and then we'll pop up. There's a little bolt I'll show you. We'll take that off, and then we'll stick the dip tube in there. We'll use the same exact engine oil stick, and we'll see if they are a different color. We'll do a little experiment. Alright, and if you do end up wanting to change your oil in your the reservoir here, it is a, you're not going to be able to see it, but it's a 3/16 Allen head. So let's place down the camera somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to put you. Maybe there works. I don't really know. I'll put you down there, and we'll check the oil. We'll check the oil throughout the whole entire motor, and we'll see what the color looks like of that. I could actually also change. Yeah, my oil's still good. I don't know if you can see the oil. We'll look at it in a second, but my level's perfect, which is good. It means it's not burning a bunch of oil. After 1,000 miles, it's still literally at like that perfect level, so that's good. Alright. Now I'll leave that in there. I gotta get a rag. We'll clean off the dipstick, and then we'll stick it in the reservoir, and we'll see how what that looks like. Now, I don't know if this has ever been changed, the fluid in here before. I know some people are religious about it. Personally, I don't think you have to do it, but we're gonna find out. I'm curious to see. I'll show you both in a second. But like I said, the oil that I have still has a nice color to it. So if this is perfectly black in here, then we'll know, yes, it's not cycling right, and people are right. But if it even matches like pretty close to what I have, I'm not gonna be concerned about it at all. So I don't think this has ever been done before. The guy that owned this before me, he brought it to a place that, to change the oil. He didn't do it himself. At least, not near the end of him owning it, because there's a sticker in the window. So maybe he did when he first got it, he changed the oil himself, but definitely not, later on. Okay. Don't want to lose that. Be very careful with that. And just so you guys know, I'm not playing any tricks on you. Okay. As you can see, the stick is perfectly clean. I wiped off both sides. Okay, no black magic here. Good to go. Now, I don't know what's inside of this reservoir. I don't know if there's components in there or anything, or if it's just fluid. So I am going to be very careful sticking this in there, but we're going to just put it in. I'm going to try not to go too far in, because I don't know what I'm even hitting in here. I touched the bottom, so let's pull it out. Alright, let's do it one more time. Alright. Alright, just cleaned it off so you can see, cleaned off, good to go now. But here's the result here, guys. Let's actually go inside the truck. There you go. Now if you look, here's the oil pan, goes right into that's all the oil in the motor. Here's from the Hpop. Look, they're almost the same as that color. This is slightly darker, and I will be honest with you, it is a little bit of like it's slightly thicker compared to this over here. It feels a little bit thicker, but I don't know if you saw it in the video, but when I pulled the stick out, it looked a little bit like gunkier. There's a little bit of a different consistency, but it still has a perfectly good color. I mean, you can see with you put it out in the light. If you look, I don't know how well the GoPro is going to pick it up. They look exactly the same, guys. You know, this may be slightly darker. It's mainly the consistency. Like I said, let's put the dipstick back. The consistency is a little bit different. It feels like more of like a syrup. This is really tough with one hand. There we go. Feels a little bit like a syrup. You know, it's not bad. It's not, you know, the oil's perfectly fine. It's just, you know, it's a little bit of a different consistency because it's, you know, what it's operating. You know, that oil gets sheared and everything else because it's going through a high pressure oil system. So that's probably the reason why it feels a little bit, you know, syrupy like that. But if you guys are changing out your reservoir, I mean, I'm sure it's okay, you can. But I don't know, based on what I just tested here, my non-scientific test, I don't know. I won't even bother changing it out. You know, look at the colors. I mean, they look exactly the same. So I'll do another test later on and I'll see if it changes colors at all. But to me, they look exactly the same. It's just the consistency feels just slightly different. So that's it, quick little experiment. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. I'm actually kind of glad I did, because I was actually curious to know what the condition of that was. So, alright, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. More videos to come. And take care, guys.